You guys remember when just 4 days ago Trump said he wouldn't touch tariffs?
China says in order to have substantive negotiations, you have to bring down your 145% tariffs. Are you open to pulling back your tariffs in order to get China to the negotiating table?
No.
It looks like he was willing to bring those tariffs down. Bit of a flip-flop. Kind of folded like a piece of paper in an origami class. You guys remember the whole Liberation Day announcement? Wasn't the whole point of tariffs to liberate our country, bring manufacturing back to America? What happened there? And for anybody saying that, oh, but the market is doing so great, look at where we started. This was the day he announced tariffs. This is the day he removed tariffs. We literally are at the exact same point where we started. Except now China has tons of new trade deals with other countries. Brazil, Australia, the European Union. Dude, they were in Switzerland talking about a deal. We had to go crawling on our hands and knees to Switzerland to basically beg them to talk with us about tariffs. The president has made himself look so weak. He has made the country look so weak. He has put us in a terrible situation, and all so that we could be back at square one with the stock market. And guess what? People on the right are still out here going, we're winning. Idiocracy.
Welcome back to AI Crystal, your go-to channel for intelligent insights and global analysis. A warm welcome to our returning subscribers. We appreciate your continued support more than ever. And if you're new here, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to stay informed with our in-depth takes on the issues shaping our world. Today, we're breaking down a major development in international trade. The United States is dialing back tariffs on Chinese goods to 10%. This is a significant shift from the aggressive trade policies we've seen since the 2025 U.S.-China trade war began.
The United States and China have agreed to a 90-day pause on most retaliatory tariffs. Oh my Lanta! Donald Trump strikes again! The United States agreed to drop its 145% tariff down to 30%, while China agreed to drop its 125% tariff down to 10%. Hashtag winning! But just remember, just a few short weeks ago, it was nothing but panic and chaos, and he's ruining the economy. Oh my gosh, we're in this trade war. Everything's going up in smoke, Armageddon, But we told all of you, just be patient. Let things play out for more than 5 minutes before you hit the panic button. Don is playing chess, while all these liberals and economists are playing checkers. You can't make an omelet unless you're willing to break a few eggs. The night is always darkest before the dawn. We didn't come this far just to come this far. It will be interesting to see how things eventually play out once this 90-day pause is over with. But both sides are at the table. Both sides are having meaningful, productive conversations, and ultimately I think it's going to lead to a whole lot of winning for the United States. Whoop!
The tariffs came down to 30%! Yay! That still sucks, by the way. That sucks for any small business owner. I think it's called anchoring, when you come in and you have something really awful, like 145% tariff, and then you bring it down significantly to 30, and we should all be super grateful. It's still gonna cost me $48,000 more than this shipment would have cost me 2 months ago. It's still awful. It still hurts my business, but right now we have the support. We can function through this. I don't know what we're gonna do afterwards, but I'll keep you posted. But what it does mean is I can actually get my products here. We are almost out of Busy Baby products in our warehouse. So what this does mean is that combined with the money we had set aside for the potential of tariffs, plus the money that people so graciously donated to our GoFundMe, we are able to ship our products from China back into the US. It's going to take about probably 45 days for it to get here, but then we will have another 2-3 months worth of inventory on hand so that we have a little bit more time to stay in business and figure out what we're going to do next. I am working with a factory in New York to try and figure out how to move some of our production to the US. We have a new product that Walmart wants to put on shelves that we can maybe produce in the US at a cost that might work. So we're waiting to see what the estimate comes back as. Hopefully we can make that Walmart product in the USA. Walmart is a very big supporter of Made in the USA, and hopefully we can do this product that way for them. However, they are unable to make our Busy Baby mat, the big product, because it is simply too big for their machine. They make baby products like pacifiers and small teethers. They don't have a machine big enough to make the busy baby mat. So what's next? I wish I could tell you. It is literally impossible to make a business decision right now. This pause, this reduction down to 30% tariff is 90 days. I don't know that it's actually going to last 90 days because this administration makes drastic changes on the timeline they want to. So I don't trust that it's going to actually be in place for 90 days. And who knows what's going to happen after the 90 days. So it's truly impossible for me to figure out what to do next. But what I am going to do is I am going to start our next production run at our current factory. We do not have the time or the money it's going to take to move our production. Most companies that I personally know are moving their production to other countries like Taiwan, Vietnam, and I don't know of any actually moving to the US. I know there probably are some, but I don't personally know anyone moving to the US for production. But in any case, we don't have the time or the money it costs and it takes to do such a move. So we're going to continue production, and this time I am using an upgraded form of silicone. So this is FDA food grade silicone. It is meets all the standards for the US, Canada, many countries. It is food safe. It is safe for babies to chew on, put in their mouth. We third party test it. It is a very safe material. The EU, though, has higher standards. So as my product has been stuck in China, we've been trying to figure out where else can we sell it. And the most demand is coming from Europe. However, they have a higher standard for silicone. It has to be EU level silicone, which is just one notch higher quality silicone than what we use. It is more expensive, but if we produce going forward using that silicone and something like this happens again, we will at least be able to sell our products in Europe. So that is the update. This glorious Monday, tariffs have come down to 30%.
Have you ever watched a guy pick a fight, throw the first punch, get hit back, only then to claim that this is all part of a plan? Well, President Trump starts a trade war with China, slapped over 100+% tariff like he's playing Mortal Kombat, finished him style, only then to crawl back and settle down at 10%. Meanwhile, China throws a punch right back, matches the tariff, and guess what? No consequences. While the UK bent over backward, promised to buy American beef, ethanol, bonus jets, basically sold their soul just for the same 10% that China saying not to and matches the energy and still walked away with face. Now President Trump's probably on Truth Social bragging about how he saved the economy, but let's be real here. China got the deal and the dignity. Now the biggest winner out of this whole trade war? Probably President Trump's brokerage account, while the biggest losers are anyone who actually believed in his no mercy bluff. Like, this whole trade war is more like a Trader Temdrum with tariff involved.
So I wonder who threw the towel in, guys. The United States or China? Who threw the towels in? Let me see if I can come up with my own hypothesis on this. So our ports started running empty. Shipping containers was coming back from China 100% empty. Truck drivers started to lose their jobs. Truck drivers started to get laid off. And on top of that, when the U.S. put the tariffs on China, China exposed the U.S. The designer name brand clothing stores. And now it's been said that the U.S. and China has reached an agreement to slash the tariffs for approximately 90 days until they can come up with a solution. So it seems like the closer that it gets to this 75-day extension on this TikTok ban, people are getting a little bit nervous. And so I'm just kind of wondering who threw the towel in. Because you guys remember, it was said that our president was in negotiations with China. China responded by saying they weren't in negotiations with anyone in the U.S. But now all of a sudden, they reached an agreement. What's going on, man? Like, what is going on? Who threw the freaking towel in? Again, if I had to take I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not. And I've been told that. But if I had to take an educational guess, I would guess that the United States actually threw the towel in. Because you see, China don't need us, guys. Remember, China moved on. They went on to other countries to fill the void for the U.S. The U.S. needs China. Them other countries, ports didn't run empty like the United States ports went empty. So it seems to me like the United States needs China. In just my opinion, that's a bad sign. If we threw the towel in over in the United States, that is bad. That makes the United States look extremely weak. It makes the United States look extremely vulnerable. And one thing that we cannot do is appear weak and vulnerable in the eyes of other countries. Most importantly, we can't look like we need other countries for us to survive over here in the United States. Now, I'm not saying that the United States threw the towel in. I'm not trying to say that China threw the towel in. I'm just saying that I personally feel like the United States was ready to make a deal. But at any rate, regardless who threw the towel in, this is going to be good for us. That means the market's going to go back sky high. People are going to make a lot of money. Maybe we are going to avoid this recession. Maybe our president realized just how much damage it was going to be, done to the United States. And the damage was already taking effect. Whether we've seen it or not, it was definitely coming in the month of May. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Who do you think threw the towel in? The U.S. or China? Thanks for watching.
Let's rewind. In 2018, the Trump administration imposed tariffs on over $350 billion worth of Chinese imports, citing unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, and a massive trade imbalance. China retaliated in kind. The result? A full-blown trade war that disrupted global supply chains, raised costs for consumers and businesses, and rattled markets worldwide. But now in 2025, with inflation concerns at home and growing global pressure to stabilize trade, the U.S. is reducing some of these tariffs to 10%. So what does this mean? Here's what we need to consider. This move could signal an attempt to de-escalate the trade war and improve diplomatic ties. It's no secret that China remains a vital trade partner, especially in sectors like electronics, raw materials, and consumer goods. Lowering tariffs can ease tensions and restart meaningful negotiations. Domestically, high tariffs have contributed to inflationary pressures, especially in manufacturing and retail sectors. By reducing tariffs, the U.S. aims to cut import costs, which could help bring down consumer prices, something that's politically crucial in an election cycle. Important to note, this isn't a full rollback. The 10% rate still signals a defensive posture. It gives Washington leverage, allowing flexibility while sending a message to Beijing that the U.S. is open to more balanced trade, but not willing to give everything away. China's reaction has been measured. There's cautious optimism, but Beijing continues to push for a full removal of tariffs. Meanwhile, they're advancing their own regional trade ties through agreements like the RCEP and pushing for tech independence, which could redefine the global balance in the long term. The reality? This isn't the end of the trade war. It's the beginning of a new phase, one driven less by confrontation and more by strategic pragmatism. Here's what you should watch for. Will this 10% tariff reduction lead to broader trade reform talks? How will U.S. industries, especially tech and agriculture, respond? And could this open the door to new global trade alliances? We'll be tracking every development right here on AI Crystal. Let us know in the comments. Do you think this is a smart strategic move or a sign of economic pressure? And how do you see the future of U.S.-China relations? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more intelligent analysis straight to you.